X crores of budget हमने spend कर दिया होगा, and consumers have no view of it. We've seen near deaths. I believe it was the hardest. The idea was to go as deep as, and Avnish goes very very deep in everything, and he does it so simply. it लगता है बहुत आसान होगा, but करने बैठते हैं तो पता चलता है बहुत मेहनत है. Consolidation became the theme. If mCaffeine is really good at something, let it be good at something. So me and Vaishali would have spoken to 1500, 1600 people. Otherwise, we would have been one more story of startups didn't work out well, right? September 23 with Yash. That's where I met Avnish first in Singularity's office. Marrying the force of the institution of mCaffeine with tons of data, operating experience. ये combo का जो sine curve add हुआ ना, it just flew it. Priti's passion towards skin care, hair care, beauty, I mean, she knows her stuff.
It's an accelerated MBA program on entrepreneurship for her, which she's doing, and she's doing fabulously.
Now almost 55-60% of our business comes from D2C and we don't lose money. Good funders and good investors, what I've realized is that the strength is the ecosystem. Founders को genuinely feedback देके सिखाने वाले लोग कम हैं. That is one of the biggest value add I would see from Singularity.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Operator Playbook.
Thank you. Now.
It's a platform that we are trying to build specifically for seasoned founders and funds to essentially get a peek behind what are the messy details it takes to build a brand or a business, and also get a little bit of feel and sense of what truly a strategic capital feels like, because we recognize that a lot of really good founders right now who have tons of capital options around them are also trying to learn or inform themselves. We hear this all the time, but what does a strategic capital or a capital plus what does it feel like? So that's the intent.
Thank you for having me here. It's been long pending, first of all. It's a need of the hour, and what operator investor truly means, I think if we can decode it, big value add for all the people who are listening to it.
I think it's safe to say that mCaffeine and now more and more hyphen are becoming household names. I'm keen today to kind of zoom in into this specific context that last 18 months have been a brutal reality shown up to D2C to say that, hey, growth at all costs doesn't work. Profitable resilience work.
Correct.
Sure, older wisdom, but also the reality of market. Lo and behold, last 18 months have been an incredible story for mCaffeine and how things have turned around. I'm hoping to kind of zoom into this 18 months. I'll kickstart with a very simple question. So mid-2024, let's go back to mid-2024.
Yeah.
Essentially, what was that realization moment to say, hey, need to look at this in a different light? Let's start from there.
One of the most important matrices for us at that point of time when it was really near death, absolute near death, was cash in the bank. How much do we have? How much can we sustain for? And there was an interesting moment which kind of flipped us. I've been in the startup, it's been 15 years now. 10 years of building this and 5 years of prior experience. We've seen near deaths. This was the 6th near death. I believe it was the hardest. It literally could have gone the other way around. Me and my partner Vaishali, we're also married, we're also co-founders. She handles everything, what I'm gonna narrate to you and take all the credit for. But we got the news that we are pregnant with Ved on October 16th. For first 3 minutes, we were really happy. And we were happy that, we were planning for it and we really wanted to see how our kid would turn out. So we were really happy about the fact that our bacha kaisa hoga. In the 4th minute, we realized that Ved will get delivered in a certain month, and that's the money we are left with. Then we realized that life we have come to this level where we cannot even enjoy the 4th minute of this news, which will hardly come a couple of times in life, right? That flipped us. And usse pehle there was a lot of struggle. We were struggling to figure out the right strategy for mCaffeine. Hyphen was just born. That is where we started kind of taking turns for only one objective. We need to survive. If we survive each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, we might as well turn out fine. And when all sorts of excitement about Ved and stress about business settled down, next day we made a plan. Every month we should have 6 months of money. That's the maths. We should, and obviously it was depleting money. So the only metric which we used to check every day is, kya hamare paas 6 mahine ke paise?
Let's go a little deeper. So since this decision or this realization came about, what was that one or few critical things, the favorite additional SKU or that personal project or that marketing channel? What was the need of the hour? What was killed for the reborn to happen?
I think there was a time when we were on a certain pedestal. Usse pehle we were very fundamental first, and fundamental first means brands are like babies or people. Now, babies cannot be fed 10 years worth of rice for them to perform like an 11-year-old, right? So, brands take time, but they are finally like people, so they won't be good at everything. That was the part we missed while we were scaling up. We forgot or we derailed. So, what we decided for was cutting everything which our baby didn't want to do or could not do. Maybe the chahat is to do, but the baby cannot pull off. So, we cut down pretty much 70% of our categories.
SKUs, like the width of the portfolio.
So, we were in face care, we were in hair care, cosmetic, all sorts of things. And what we realized is that if mCaffeine is really good at something, let it be good at something. Over time, it will become excellent and be known for it. That's what the brand is, right? You take that invisible mental space in the consumer's head. Consolidation became the theme. Consolidation of offices, we were in Goa, we were in Bombay, we were in Bangalore, we consolidated everything to Bombay. Let's have a very nodalized approach of execution. Consolidated all the categories which were not working for her. Consolidated all the consumer personas which were not working for her. For example, a consumer type A behaves really well with the brand and brand can land on it, but consumer type, let's say A3, which are a different cohort, different geography, different age bracket, doesn't work. Let's not do it. So, we chose to say no to categories, channels, a type of consumer, all sorts of wild ideas. Consolidation became the theme. The only thing which we didn't consolidate it was when businesses go through tough times, the first protocol is to team cost dekhte hain. But it was not even a concern. In the first period, we had a 3x than the market kind of a appraisal. So, we said what we need to protect is the human capital, the culture, the DNA. What we need to cut down is all sorts of things which are not working for the brand. So, we will not cut an arm to fit the shirt. That was the whole premise, that if it is not fitting, chhod do bhai, nahi karte.
Two small nuances I'm hoping to unpack. One is, how do you, because many other founders might be in this कि जहाँ पे दिख रही हैं तीन चीजों में potential है, एक clear winner है, but you don't know where do you start using the scissor. What signals or what do you read before you start winding down saying ये नहीं, ये नहीं, ये नहीं?
So, the only satya we have for is the consumer. In the office, there is this wall called pep talk, जिसमें ना 16-17 चीजें. The only thing which matters is consumer, and if we take care of it, business becomes better. So, me and Vaishali would have spoken to 1,500, 1,600 people at length during that toughest time, because honestly nobody had the answers. Kahan se chalaye? What do we do? Face care, the TAM is large, but it's not making sense business wise. So would you want to keep on investing? At the end of the day, we have been there in the market for 5-6 years back then.
Right.
What does our consumers know of? Body scrub. So body scrub. So rakha rahe kya? Why body scrub? So if you know body scrub, then you are in a shower using a body care product to wash off. हमारे बिजनेस में ना दो ही प्रोडक्ट होते हैं. वन इज वॉश ऑफ, वन इज लीव ऑन. धोना लगाना. दैट्स अ सिंपल बिजनेस वी आर इन. नाउ द मोमेंट वी स्टार्ट कॉम्प्लिकेटिंग कि अब इसमें फेस भी और हेयर भी, इट बिकम्स अ वेरी ट्रिपी इक्वेशन. पीपल नो अस फॉर बॉडी स्क्रब, विच इज product under the shower for body, for washing off. Let's keep everything which is around it. So it makes sense, it worked, it landed. But what next? So we kept on speaking to them, and we realized that whatever categories we have marketed for, so X crores of budget हमने spend कर दिया होगा, and consumers have no view of it. So these are our loyal customers.
That's also crazy learning to have.
Right, and these are the consumers we are talking to who has purchased 5 times over from website. We have been targeting them left, right, center. And when we called up and told them, do you know we have a face serum? Oh, is it? And that's where the entire marketing money is drained. After talking to the consumers, we realized mCaffeine is a very powerful body care brand. Can we keep it like that?
Superb.
At that point of time, my face care business was 60%.
Wow.
So mathematically,
Was not making sense.
it was a show. If we would have started showing it to everyone, it would have been a nightmare. It would have been a race to the end. And this went on for 2-3 months. And we got that clarity, mCaffeine में बाकी सब करने की ज़रूरत नहीं, categories are out. Then we spoke to the consumers which were recruited with these categories because we had spent high amount of CAC. They didn't have any view of the brand. In the same house, 3 people sitting, having 3 different products and having 3 different brand personas, तो हमने कहा भाई हमको तो इससे बनानी है. So we just said no to 2 types of personas, 3 types of categories, 4 types of channels. Then what she did brilliantly is that she crafted the portfolio strategy again, that if I'm good at this for let's say a 150 crores business, how do I take it 150 to 500, 700, 800 by just doing the same thing better and better? How can we make the baby brand wise do things which he or she is really good at? I think so far the turnaround has come only on that core strategy.
So to bring the unit economics, one is okay, portfolio focus, brand focus, offering focus for lack of a better word. We know what we want to do, and because the consumer is telling us clearly. But to bring those unit economics home, right, or to bring that profitability, into this most atomic level in the company, who was a partner in getting down in the trenches?
So the moment we understood that what needs to be fixed, and there was this dire need to fix it, otherwise we would have been one more story of startups didn't work out well, right? I think at that point of time we were very clear with respect to who would do what. Constraints made us decisive, very very decisive, and I think we used to use it brutal as a word. अवनीश फ्रॉम सिंगुलैरिटी कॉइंड इट कि यार तुम लोग ना ब्रूटल से ज़्यादा तुम डिसाइसिव हो गए हो. क्यों लगता है तुम्हें ब्रूटल हुए हो? तुम डिसाइसिव हो गए हो. Yes, we were more decisive than what we were, and we were trying to, वो brand ऐसा कर रहा है तो ये कर लेते हैं. So I think the flip happened when we started listening to consumers more than competition. The flip happened when we said, I would have whatever cash I would have and I'll have to build it, rather than saying we will have to get capital from the market, because as an investor I would also not invest in a bad business, and at that point of time the unit economics was bad. Now what we did was we made task forces. So Vaishali led the entire front end. I worked at the back end to support the business. Our business is very simple if you just simplify our business, it is what proposition are you selling? It is 6 P's. What proposition are you selling? उस proposition में आप क्या product बना रहे हो? वो किस packaging में दे रहे हो? किस प्राइस पे दे रहे हो? कैसे प्रमोशंस कर रहे हो और किस प्लेटफॉर्म पे बेच रहे हो? ऊपर से नीचे तक आप ये 6 P अच्छे से करते रहो तो प्रॉफिट आएगा. 6 P's में हमें बहुत आसान हो गया था कि हमारा प्रोपोजिशन ऑफ हो रहा था. हम जिस प्रोपोजिशन से निकले थे, एंड वी वर ट्राइंग टू सेल दिस बॉडी स्क्रब्स एंड बॉडी केयर, हाईली efficacious yet emotional brand, we were not doing the same things, right? So we fixed the proposition. Obviously we were always good at R&D. We worked out on packaging. Our packaging was black packaging could only go so far. So we started making, we did everything in-house. The team did it. Pricing, we corrected a lot of pricing basis what categories we were in, what markets we were in. Promotions, platforms. We were highly marketplace heavy. Almost 55-60% of our business comes from D2C, and we don't lose money. That's a big unfair advantage, that I have millions and millions consumers coming on my website every day, and we have the data, we can talk to them, we can directly serve them, and we can have this unfair advantage of talking to them pretty much in seconds, right? And that's the quantum we are talking about. So हमने 6 के 6 P पे काम करना चालू किया. I mean, obviously the execution drove us to profits, otherwise तो it would have been slightly different. So hence we made task force, and at a P&L level we actually went to a P&L consumer data. हमने P&L को डिवाइड किया होगा 110 लाइन आइटम्स में. P&L is typically what, 20-30 लाइन आइटम्स. हमने हर चीज़ काटना चालू किया. And one of the conversations we had in August 23 with Yash. That's where I met Avnish first in Singularity's office. And Yash has this incredible capability of finding people who can top up the value add which Singularity would any which ways we were doing. But I think good funders and good investors what I've realized is that the strength is the ecosystem. So वो ना अपना पूरा ecosystem लेके आ जाते हैं. And he offered me to speak to a bunch of people whom I ended up speaking to. And we were sitting in their Lower Parel office. Yash was there. We spent the full day. उस समय हम गोवा होते थे. Avnish was there. Sahil was also there. And I think it got chiseled down to a level that एक quant का repeat बढ़ाना पड़ेगा marketing cost का. Avnish was chiseling down the business from a point of view कि यार तुम देख गलत रहे हो. D2C में ये marketing ऐसे नहीं होनी चाहिए, ऐसे होनी चाहिए. तुम Amazon पे ये डालो. And आप मानोगे नहीं, उस meeting के हमारे पास notes होंगे. And we are typically good students of the class. I'm a backbencher. Vaishali is a frontbencher. We were then हमें सिखाने के लिए लोग मिल जाएं तो फिर इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए founder को, right? अभी भी हमारे पास 7-8 पन्ने होंगे वो. In the big diary, 7-8 pages filled up. We still have these notes, and that's why I vividly remember कि कौन से महीने की बात थी. That is where we started doing all sorts of homework, and October 23 में we got to know the flip button happened, and हमने सारा execute कर दिया. Consumer से लेके कौन से geography में male consumer profitable है, कौन सी geography में female consumer profitable है. Dividing our actions or our machine into the most granularity is what I think I'm very proud of the team. Obviously, we have been in touch with Avnish, and Avnish has spent a considerable amount of time. And an operator understands कि एक दिन में कुछ भी fix नहीं होने
नहीं
वाला.
होता है.
तो मैनेजमेंट टीम्स के साथ नॉट जस्ट ऑन टॉपिक्स ऑफ सब्जेक्ट, सब्जेक्ट्स पे बात, मतलब आप पीएनएल पे बात कर लोगे, कंज्यूमर बात कर लो, सब पे, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे तो ह्यूमन ही है ना जो चलाने वाले हम. सो आई स्टिल रिमेंबर द रीसेंट कॉन्वर्जेशन मी एंड वैशाली हैड विथ हिम वाज ऑन आवर बैंडविड्थ्स. हमने उन्हें कहा कि बहुत काम हो रहा है, समझ ही नहीं आ रहा कि कैसे संभालेंगे अब. एंड ही सेड कि मतलब क्यों, you have the team. We have the team, but we are still busy. He's a good coach. He's a very good coach. Spent about 2 hours with us. Now, me and Vaishali would spend about 40-45% on strategy, rest on everything. Earlier, it was all execution, you know, daily buzzard. घुसे हुए हैं 85% टाइम में सिर्फ डे टू डे चल रहा है. सो द बिगेस्ट अनलॉक ऑफ ऑपरेटर इन्वेस्टर इज ऑब्वियसली दे इन्वेस्ट एंड टेक इक्विटी, बट अंडरस्टैंड द people who are going through the roller coaster of survival growth. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना, कर्व ऊपर होता है तो फिर फाउंडर सोचते हैं अब तो मैं ही दुनिया जीत लूँगा, अभी अब तो नीचे भगवान है. और नीचे आते हैं बोले सब खत्म हो गया. हाउ डू यू नेविगेट? एंड पीपल लाइक फाउंडर्स हु आर हार्ड एट इट. सो आई थिंक August 23 is pivotal from a point where we structured the play. Our team executed it brilliantly, but the idea was to go as deep as, and Avnish goes very, very deep in everything. He analyzes everything, like, and he does it so simply. लगता है बहुत आसान होगा, but करने बैठते हैं तो पता चलता है बहुत मेहनत है. That is one of the biggest value add I would see from Singularity. And वो ना कभी कभार लगता भी है कि कोई आदमी आके डेटा दिखा के बोले कि देखो यार गलत देख रहे हो, यार सही कर रहे हो आप,
क्या
तो
सही
गलत देख
value
रहे
add
हो.
है.
I think operator investor is the need of the hour at this point of time.
Also because I think that old saying, right? When you're hugging the tree, it's hard to see the jungle. And if you're lucky to have someone who has skin in the game and yet is able to, you know, it's in its own way, performance coaching, या हम जो shows देखते हैं, Billion, this and that, right? A good perspective person who you know is in your court because there's a skin in the game, obviously. कि आपकी जीत उनकी जीत है in the larger scheme of things.
Correct.
Giving you that perspective is also so critical because I think most founders, as you know, in my own journey of work and generally when you hear, you are hoping to get a truth speaker to you, right? And someone who can add to your value and not your echo chamber. So I think that is what I'm hearing is a summary of true value creation.
In my last 15 years, one of the biggest learning I have is the founders को feedback देने वाले लोग नहीं हैं. It's very hard.
Very hard.
एक तो देना भी मुश्किल है. Who is in their mind space or not? Founders को genuinely feedback देके सिखाने वाले लोग कम हैं. And when people like Avnish enters the room, they never let you think that they're giving feedback. तुमको 3 दिन बाद समझ में आता है कि ओ ठीक है. And once he gave me a blunt one, and I told him, पहली बार आपने इतना blunt बोला है, otherwise तो आप ना बहुत धीरे से sliding करते हो. And that's his art. We try to learn that part from him. How do you don't disable people and still give the feedback which is constructive to them,
Right.
which grows them?
Correct.
Because it comes from the
Preaching and enabling are two different art forms, by the way. It's the same input, but it is two type form.
Correct. I think we are far from understanding how it does so, but we sit like good students of the class when he talks.
No, but clearly you are seeming like the first bencher of the class because I would like to also just maybe wrap this up with what you said earlier, and I'm very keen to get a peek into the hyphen story, right? So I think you again have one of the most beautiful vantage points on what a creator / celebrity, for lack of a better word, because I also consider Kriti as a creator, right? Yeah. What does that look like when you're scaling that, you know, brand or a particular product where clearly the celebrity is anchored, the brand is anchored in her showing up, not just as someone who endorses it, but also more actively part of it. So just from that POV, what are the things being applied differently in hyphen? What does the road ahead look like? And maybe little more sense on how and what is different purely from a marketing view when you have like an in-house asset with an incredible distribution of 50 million followers, right, in a beauty category on Instagram. 100 people will tell you how you should use it, but clearly there is eventually a way that you have cracked. So I'm maybe asking 2 questions. One is macro about hyphen, and second is more about give us a little bit of insider view of beyond all the gyan that exists on LinkedIn, what is truly right now, you know, landing?
At a very core level, we believe this model is operator-led, celebrity-anchored. We're not saying it's celebrity-led. Every co-founder comes with their own skill sets. एक celebrity को उसकी operating team में all skill sets which we are building at an institutional level बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप अपनी strength पे खेलो, मैं अपनी strength पे खेलता हूँ. So that is how operator-led, celebrity-anchored. First and foremost, why does this creator wants to create it? Because a 50 million follower creator would fail miserably if he or she tries to create something which they are not authentic about. If a strong fitness star, and you can name one, launches a biryani brand. बहुत दिक्कत हो जाने वाली है.
रणवीर की बिरयानी ज़्यादा किलो नहीं जाएगी, सुपर यू जाएगा, is what you are saying.
हाँ मतलब आप तो दिन भर फ्लिप्स मार रहे हो और आप तो फिटनेस और हेल्दी बिरयानी नहीं खानी यार. बिरयानी तो मतलब बिरयानी तो है हैवी. सो ऑथेंटिसिटी इन द कैटेगरी इज व्हाट यू नीड टू कॉन्स्टेंटली वर्क टुवर्ड्स. बट व्हाट यू ब्रिंग इज टॉप ऑफ माइंड बिकॉज यू आर फेमस एंड स्टफ. But at the end of the day, it's a digital world you're living in. The continuity बनानी पड़ेगी content की. That's the whole flywheel for us. For us, Kriti's passion towards skin care, hair care, beauty. I mean, she knows her stuff. Otherwise, consumer lens से आप सोचें तो why should you make it? You're an actress.
Mistrust के ज़्यादा reasons हैं than trust के is what you're saying, because you would assume अरे आपके पास तो team होगी.
Correct.
You know, you are saying, but whatever. So it's harder to trust.
Correct.
Especially a celebrity in the context.
With a celebrity, so
Yes.
it's very hard. And hence, a celebrity needs to work really hard. So what worked for us is that from day one we said, you're not a celebrity, you're a co-founder.
Right.
We are entrepreneurs building a business. The only most important data point in this room will be consumer. Are you willing to solve the same problem which the consumer has? Ke Kriti Sanon being an actress, such a large star, why is she doing it? You'll have to be authentic. क्यों बनाना चाह रहे हो उन्हें जाके बताओ. So you become the voice of consumer. So that's why she is Chief Customer Officer. Nice. She's not a celebrity. She's a celebrity for the outside world. In Hyphen, she's an entrepreneur, founder, a CCO. And she just came back to the consumers, went back to the consumers and said, I know that, you know, a celebrity should not make it. But मैं क्यों बना रही हूँ मैं बताती हूँ ना.
और उतनी सादगी से ही बतानी ज़रूरी है, because ताकि it makes sense.
पतपड़गंज की लड़की के लिए अफोर्डेबल हाई क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट्स कैसे मिलेंगे यार. मैं पतपड़गंज में थी आज से 20 साल पहले. केमिस्ट्री समझ में आती है, हाँ जी. इंजीनियर लड़की है, मेहनती लड़की है, सीखने को तैयार है. नाउ शी कैन डिबेट विद pretty much all the pedigreed scientists. No, entrepreneur तो ऐसे ही मोल्ड का होता है ना. Now why should we hit? But that marrying the force of the institution of mCaffeine with tons of data, operating experience, not making all the mistakes of mCaffeine, ये combo का जो sine curve add हुआ ना, it just flew it, and we are very happy the way consumers have adopted the brand. But at the core, अगर वो authenticity missing होती, मुश्किल होता है brand बनाना. 6 P's में से proposition, you know, fracture हो गया होता, प्राइसिंग. सेलिब्रिटी ब्रांड के साथ सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है महंगी होनी चाहिए. हमने पहले दिन कृति को बोला, कृति आप सेलिब्रिटी हो, कंज्यूमर के लिए ओपन मार्केट है. अगर आप लग्जरी ब्रांड बना रहे हो देन मे बी वी आर नॉट द राइट गाइस, यू शुड मेक इट. बट वी बिलीव इस प्राइस पॉइंट पे इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट आता है. एंड वुड यू वांट टू सर्व 1 crore पीपल और 10 lakh पीपल? यू माइट मेक द सेम मनी, बट आपको तो लेगेसी बनानी है. एंड शर्ट मुझे लेगेसी बनानी है, मेरे को पैसे छापने होते तो बहुत सारे और काम भी है. And that's where all the decisions started becoming very easy. This was the first time a celebrity brand was launched at a accessible price point. Aspirational yet accessible. We worked very hard with her and kudos to her. Matlab, she could jump onto all insights like a very hungry entrepreneur.
I think this has been, to say the least, extremely insightful. And I think very different POV also. Some of the things you spoke about, I think, which should really help the intent of the Operator Playbook with some of the learnings and signals we want to distribute. I want to have a more indulgent one, but hopefully on the next launch after a success party.
100%.
Where probably Avnish is doing this and I'm behind the camera. But thank you so much, Tarun, for giving us the time and opportunity.
Thank you. It was lovely chatting with you.
Same here. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thanks.